that. So first and foremost, I'm going to look at the charts. It's important to look at the charts to see what's going on. And I just wanted to kind of consider possibilities, like scenarios, right? And we've had a real kind of, we've had a pretty horrible sell-off from this previous range that we were in. And unfortunately, it followed this bearish candle. I did say it was bearish, this candle here. I'd say it was a bearish candle. And as a result, we've had five days of selling, you know. Fortunately, the selling hasn't been crazy aggressive selling. It's just been very average selling. But when you get the price drop significantly with average selling, what does that mean? That means there's no buying. So there's no interest. Yeah. The selling is just normal. Like what I'm seeing with the selling is pretty average. It's like normal selling. It's like, look at it. I can't, there's no like increasing volume with this down drop. So I'm not seeing aggressive selling yet. And obviously KuCoin is the chart of choice at the moment because KuCoin has been showing the most volume recently. And when you're looking at the selling on KuCoin, like yesterday's selling was 863,000, 620, 960. If you go back to the previous week when we were consolidating, the selling was more. It was 2 million, 1.5. So I think on average, the selling has been this on this down move. What I'm seeing is that the selling has been very average or less, even below average, and that I can't see an increase in volume in selling. There's no increasing volume. So all that says to me is a lack of interest in buying. Yeah. So the selling has just been normal, but we haven't now had buyers. So before we had interest, you know, when we had this pump, yeah, you can clearly see that we had selling and it was 1.8 million and the price didn't go down. And now 2 days ago we had 620,000 and the price fell lower than before. Yeah. So whereas before we had interest in buying, we had this red candle, it was 5.6 million, price didn't go down. Now simply with like 620,000, the price is making lower prices. Yeah. So whereas before we had a bit of interest, and now we have no interest. That's what's happening. So the interest is faded. And yesterday in my analysis, I suggested that part of the reason why we're seeing this kind of behavior was due to the uncertainty. It's compounding the uncertainty. You have Bitcoin's uncertainty, you have the macro of the world and all that kind of stuff, uncertainty. But then specifically when it comes to an extremely small market cap crypto Web3 startup, you have other kinds of uncertainty. And I think what we're experiencing is a little bit of anticipation and then a letdown. That's kind of like what I'm feeling with the charts. And that's what I said this is all anticipation. It's like a build up. You have this kind of euphoric moment of we're about to do something, and then kind of like it didn't really happen. It's kind of that's kind of what I'm seeing. So this isn't bearish yet. What it is, it's really bearish. Let's be honest. I can't say this is bullish, so it's bearish. And just simply from a higher time frame perspective, because I'm always looking at the higher time frame, just quite simply because it clears the fluctuations of and it has a higher aggregate volume, and ultimately it's a volume which determines everything. Hold on a second. Yeah, sorry. Phone calls. So I think when I'm looking at the higher time frame, I'm looking at it gives you a much clearer picture of things that are happening. And basically what I ended when I did my like 3 hour analysis on TRVL, I got a video of a 3 hour like full technical analysis of the charts. I identified some ranges, yeah, and I've basically split the chart into two ranges, right? A lower range and a higher range, okay? And anything sub 9 cents is the lower range, everything above 9 cents is the higher range. And for the most part of this token's existence, we've been in the lower range. And then what I did was I separated this lower range into three ranges, yeah. And we have the higher range, which is something like this. Then we have this middle range. It was something like this, and then we have this lower range, right? And I don't know if people can see it, but in a gist, for a period of time, we were in the lower range, but we were pushing against the next range, you know, this middle range. We were pushing against it. Then we had this breakout with the price just went right up to the top of the top range of this lower part, and it fell back into this middle part. That would have been normal. I thought maybe we would just consolidate here for a while, you know, and that's what usually happens with the price. The volume fills and then it steps up and it steps up, and we would just continue. I thought, and that's quite healthy. That's not unusual to see the price do that, because when you have acceptance, like if we were able to range at 4 cents for a long period of time, then psychologically people would be like, okay, 4 is the right price now because we've been at 4 for a long time. But it only works psychologically as if we're stepping up. If you're stepping down, like if you're stepping down from 5 cents to 4 cents, people aren't then thinking to themselves, well, 4 is the right price. They're thinking, well, maybe actually it's going to go lower. So it all depends on the direction of travel when you're contemplating psychological behavior when it comes to acceptance of price, yeah. And so what's actually happened now, and this is the unfortunate thing, for a short period of time we had higher prices. We didn't get acceptance in the highest price, but for a couple of weeks almost we were in the 4 cents mark. And if we were able to get acceptance at 4 cents for a few more weeks, then that would have become the new low, yeah. Psychologically it would have become the new low, and also structurally in terms of buying and selling it would have become the new low, the foundation, yeah. But unfortunately we've actually rejected from that level, and now as you can see, and obviously the weekly chart and the higher time frame chart hasn't played out yet, but it's playing out. I don't want, like I always say, you can't predict the future. But yesterday we closed back into this range. You know, we closed, that's a close. So basically closing represents hodling. So people were willing to not buy the price back up. And in terms of volume levels, we closed back into this range value area. And as you can see right now, it's kind of struggling to get back up, yeah. So this is not bullish. Like coming back into a previous lower range, price range and volume range, coming back underneath a previous price level like we have here, you see this previous high, coming back underneath that is bearish behavior, yeah. It's called technically in terms of trading, it's called this is called a failed auction, yeah. So for a short period of time the price finds higher prices, but there just isn't enough interest in the higher prices, and the price just falls back down. So it's not a swing failure, it's a failed auction. And what we're experiencing now is a failed auction. Failed auction usually happens at the highs, usually. Yeah, it's not common to see failed auction when we're still looking at lows. Yeah, so in the context of where we are, I would say that this is actually pretty bearish. Like, it's like, I can't describe this as bullish behavior. And I think my best advice for people right now is to just be patient and wait and see what happens, and not like be desperate to, like, don't think that this is now, like, there's no FOMO here. This price isn't suddenly going to go up. Yeah, it doesn't look like it, and it's very easy to see if it does, because we're really at the border. Yeah, we have a clear line here. You know, if the price suddenly started kind of working its way up and maybe back above there, then okay, you know, you're not going to get in here. Your invalidation technically is only 10% away. I mean, you're not going to risk it for 10%. You're going to wait. You're going to be patient. If you see the price go back up, if we suddenly see the price reject from this low range and go back up, that's a sign of strength. So it's a sign of strength following a sign of weakness. And as I've always said, you buy strength and you sell weakness. Yeah, you don't want to be you don't buy weakness, because the problem with weakness is no one knows how low the price is going to get. Yeah, so we're now experiencing weakness in price. No one knows if the price is, how low the low price is going to get. No one knows if it's going to reverse now. No one can predict the future to say this might consolidate. It could then go up. It can go down. Who knows? Yeah. But the problem with weakness is that we've lost the key level. And so there's a very easy invalidation to weakness now. Yeah. So we can now see strength very clearly, because to get back above this level, would require strength. You can see that in the charts. If the price is now suddenly tomorrow trading at 3.6 cents, 3.7, well, you can say, well, okay, actually the price is quite strong here. Like, we've just rejected from a lower range. So that's good. That's what you want. That's what you want to see. It's what you want to experience. And that's going to give people the confidence to buy more. You can't manipulate price action, because it's the volume will tell you the story. If the price goes up and it's a low volume rise, you'll know. It would require volume to take the price up, because after this drop, I think a lot of people are trapped. And I think I've said this many times before, and the problem with this kind of price action is that any single person who bought in this pump and hasn't sold is trapped. They're in negative balance. Yeah, if all of the new entrants in this pump are trapped traders now. Yeah, if they didn't sell at a profit, or if they didn't sell and cut their losses, they're trapped. Yeah, so the problem we have now, technically, just from a market perspective, is that it's going to require a lot of volume to push the price up now, because all of these trap traders will be looking to exit at break even first. No one is going to wait for the price to come up if they're back on break even after they see this price action. It'll be better for them to exit at break even and then wait for a retracement and to buy on support. That would be technically the correct behavior for trapped traders. And if you look at if I do a volume pool, this is on Gate. Obviously KuCoin will give you a different story. The point of control on Gate is low in the range, which, as long as you're in the range, that's bullish. But when you've lost the range, as soon as the price gets back up here, most of the volume was at the lows. So therefore, if anyone is still in a new position, will be looking to exit at break even, and there's going to be some natural sell pressure as it tries to get back into the range. So it's going to require strength to get back into that range. And I think obviously most of the volume came into KuCoin. And so I think with KuCoin, actually, the volume is a little bit higher. the point of control is a little bit higher. But it doesn't really matter, because even as you try to get back into the volume area, the value area, you're going to start seeing some sell pressure. And obviously the higher you go, if we suddenly get up to 4.2 cents, I think we're going to get a lot of sell pressure, because whoever it was that injected this volume didn't inject it thinking the price is going down. No one buys hoping or thinking the price is going down. People who buy are expecting the price to go up, or they want the price to go up. That's why they're buying. Yeah. And so therefore it's natural for there to be a lot of trapped liquidity here. And it's the same idea of what I said before, you know, the whole of this down move, there was a lot of trapped liquidity. And so this was like the first opportunity for that liquidity to exit at break even, at best, at least. Maybe they took a little bit of profit, who knows? So we cleared all that liquidity, which is bullish, but it's only bullish if you're holding new higher levels, higher prices. Yeah. If we were holding higher prices, clearing the liquidity is bullish. You consolidate here and you make another attempt, and then you make another attempt, and then they eventually break out. Yeah. That's healthy price. That's how it works. You know, you don't, clearing liquidity and then falling to lower prices is detrimental. It's terrible. It just is. It's just, it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. It's just a reality. Hi, Craig. How's it going? Good morning. I'm just describing price action. And unfortunately, a lot of people have no idea how the markets work. No idea. No idea how crypto works. No idea how liquidity works. No idea about failed auctions, volume levels, price levels. No idea. Everyone thinks because of Bitcoin, everything's going to the moon. Just wait for the moon. Yeah, that's like so many people who are inexperienced, have no idea, and it's just an education. It's just a long education, just trying to educate people. And if you're willing to listen, I'm going to educate you. I'll tell you how it works. I'll explain to you everything, how the markets work. I'll tell you where the liquidity is. I'll tell you what the price action means. And I'll tell you what we need to do to overcome difficulties. And this is now becoming a difficulty because we have a huge injection of volume and we've lost higher prices. Yeah. So naturally, to clear this volume, we need more volume. That's a problem. We need more volume now. To clear this volume, yeah, we need more volume. Because these people are going to sell. The next time we go up, they're going to sell, right? It's just a fact. It's just the way it works. And so what's the course of action now? Well, this is where we are now. We're basically, as far as I can tell, we're back in this range. We haven't made a lower low yet. I think this is KuCoin. This is the pivot. As soon as the price goes down below this, we're making a lower low, right? So that's the first step to changing market structure on the daily time frame, because at the moment we're still looking at bullish market structure, right? Bulls could step in now and push the price up. It's very possible. Yeah, it's very possible. If whoever has a large sum of money who did this or did part of this probably still has a large sum of money, they could still probably push the price up if they wanted to. If they were interested to continue buying, they could easily just keep on doing it, and eventually you are getting acceptance into higher prices. Yeah, because the more you do it, the less people are going to be inclined to sell, right? But obviously that hasn't happened. And usually when you get, dare I say it, a whale create this kind of price action, they have a large amount of dry powder to defend their position, because obviously the whales don't want to be in negative equity either. So they're going to want to defend their position. So that this would be the right place to defend. Actually, higher up would be the better place to defend, but now is like the last line of defense for whichever persons it was who did this. Yeah, they obviously have a lot of capital. If we don't see a defense soon, and this is it, we're going to create volume back in this lower range. Yeah. But now the volume that we create is going to be bearish volume. Yeah. As you're going up, as you're making higher prices, and then when you consolidate above previous highs, that's bullish volume. But as you're making lower highs and as you're making lower prices, as you consolidate on the way down, you're making bearish volume. Yeah. So we may, in the interim, it may look bullish, but it won't be. Yeah. It may even flag and it will look bullish. You may be thinking, oh my God, look, the price is going up. But the reality is that unless we can get back into that upper range, then we're making bearish volume. And effectively what you're doing is you're creating resistance for the traverse to go back up when we make lower prices. Yeah, because eventually all of these people are trapped, and so you're trapping people as you go down. Yeah, so it's actually more bullish to go down faster in this situation now. It'd be more bullish. Like I personally, I would prefer we just go down with nice long red candles and just let the price go down than for us to create structure as we go down. That's not bullish, that's actually really bearish, because now it's going to become, as the if you want the price to reverse, it's going to be even more difficult, because you're going to have little ranges that have formed which we have to get back up to get through, and that's going to require volume to do that. So in terms of price action, I think if people are looking for a reversal now, it has to come soon. I think if we don't see the price return back up above this range soon, then that's going to be really bearish. You're going to be putting volume here, and then the price will probably take another step down, probably. Yeah, then you will make your lower low, and I think once you make your lower low, there's a lot of trapped liquidity here, and you know, at the moment they're only down 15%, then they'll be down 25%, then they'll be down 34%, 35%, 40%. Like, they'll be selling. You'll start seeing selling pressure, right? It's just the way it's going to work, right? Now, what does this mean for us, the bulls? The bulls. Well, in the first instance, as I said, really good opportunity to buy at low prices. Yeah, I am looking to buy a lot. I'm looking to buy a lot of tokens, but in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, I can buy like 2 million tokens right now, or I can buy 4 million here, or I can buy 8 million here. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would I buy 2 million now when I can buy 8 million down here? Down here. But that's what I'm thinking. As a bull who wants to accumulate more tokens, because nothing's changed as far as my idea of Dtravel has changed. Yeah, I think this is a good one. I think we're onto something. We're onto a winner. We just have to get there. But technically, as a trader, obviously I want the best prices. Yeah, and I'm not going to FUD the project and make people think that we're going down there. Honestly, I want us to make a higher low. I think a higher low is the most bullish scenario in this situation, because on the higher time frames, like if I bring it to KuCoin, oh, we are on KuCoin, perfect. I'm seeing the potential of some sort of higher time frame head and shoulders pattern, inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? Which requires a higher low. It requires a higher low to form this higher time frame inverse head and shoulders. I honestly don't want lower low. I really don't want another all-time low. I really don't want that. Honestly, I don't want that. Yeah, I can't, but I'm not gonna buy weakness. That's the other thing. You see, I'm only going to buy strength. I've always said this. If anyone has ever watched any one of my videos, I always say the same thing. You buy strength, you sell weakness. Yeah. And I'm looking for strength now. So as long as I don't see strength, I'm not going to buy. It's just the way it is. I'm not just going to accumulate hoping that the price turns. I'm going to be looking for the signs of strength to see the price turning. Now, if I see the price turning here, as soon as I see the price recapture loss levels, then I'll start buying again. Yeah. And I'm hoping that it happens now. But if it doesn't, then I'll be looking for lower, but I'll be looking to see where the price settles down, where I see loss levels. And as soon as the price comes back up, I'll start buying again, because I'll be buying reclaimed loss levels. That's where, in my mind, I'm imagining that strength, as long as we're holding the lows. Yeah. If we make a new all-time low, yeah, then there's two situations for longing, for buying. It would be a swing failure of these lows. Yeah, just like we had here, where the price came underneath it and went up. So I'd be looking for some similar behavior at the lows. And so you have to have your capital ready for that situation, because you don't want to be caught in a situation where you don't have your capital ready to buy that scenario, a swing failure of the lows. And it's very possible that could happen. Very possible that we're just forming a wedge. Let me draw out for you. No one can predict the future. I'm just saying this is possible. It's very possible that we are going down. We are going to take the lows. We are going to take the lows and we're going to come right back up. And so you have to have your capital ready to buy that low, right? I think this is a very possible scenario. It's not bullish, but why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you buy the low if that was to happen? You would. You'd improve your position, and the thesis is still the same. Obviously, as the price rises, people would sell into the rise for another, for that kind of behavior. They're not going to hold on to that because you're still in bearish market structure, in a bearish pattern. Yeah, you'd have to, you wouldn't just hold on to that. That's the problem. So that's one situation that I'm envisioning, and the other situation that I'm envisioning is a complete breakdown. Yeah. And basically the way I would calculate that kind of breakdown is, I'll show you. So there's two ways to do it, and it would be from the low to this high, and you do a fib extension, and you have some lower targets there of 12 cents, 10 cents, sorry, 1.2 cents and 1 cent. And that would be a technical, those would be your technical targets after you lost that level. Right? So I'll be looking to buy those levels. So you have to have your capital ready for that. We may get like a complete pricing, you know, we might get like a V-shaped after that. It's possible. Yeah. Because they're so low and it's such an illiquid environment that it wouldn't take much to bring the price back up. And obviously if you go to gate and you do a fib extension from, not gate, let me go to MEX because it's got a better all-time high. If you do a fib extension, ignore this stuff there. You do a fib extension from I was doing it yesterday, let me see. So you do it from there to, or the other way around actually. You do it from, where does that go? No, that's too low, I think. That's too low. I think the correct one is the one I just did actually. There's a few ways to do it, like which, you know, which rise you take. See, this one kind of comes to the same area, so maybe that's the correct one. So in terms of lower targets, if we do have a breakdown, you could do a fib extension on the log scale from this low to this high, or maybe from this low to this high. You're kind of roughly coming in the same area. You're basically looking at about 1.2, 1.3 to about 1 cent. That's probably the target. That if we were to break down from the low, we didn't get a swing failure, we had a big sell-off, and then you're probably looking at these levels, but somewhere in between these levels to accumulate. I think worst case scenario, like unimaginably the worst case scenario would be the 1.618, but I don't really foresee it going that far, and because I'll be buying I'll be buying a lot at those lower prices. So I think that people have to understand this is how it works. You don't buy weakness, you buy strength, yeah, or lower prices. You buy strength or lower prices, you don't buy weakness. And I think we have to wait for strength. Now I'm imagining right now some sort of inverse higher time frame head and shoulders pattern with a higher low here. Now I think this is what I'm imagining. I would love to see this happen. I think if this was to happen, this would be extremely ultra bullish, because we've confirmed a higher low. People would see that in the charts. They would see a higher low, and that would give them the confidence to enter, especially if we were to break this neckline, yeah, with volume. You need a little bit of volume, because you're going to need volume now to get past this this liquidity here. So whatever happens, it's going to have to be with volume. I think this would be extremely bullish. Like, I'm actually trying to go with this type of scenario, just quite simply because I still think this is likely. But for this to happen first, what we need is we need the price to settle down, because right now the price is still unsure of itself, and I can't see volume. Let me have a look. KuCoin. See, there's no real volume coming in, so I can't see much selling, but I can't see much buying. So I think naturally the price is gonna just kind of range for a little bit until it figures itself out, and ultimately there's going to be some kind of volume that's going to determine the direction. And in a situation like this, I think it's very likely that the next injection of volume could be a sell, because we're on the downward direction at the moment. We're not actually going up, we're going down. So that's how it's weird the way it works, but as the price goes down, people sell, and the price goes up, people buy, and that's just the way it is. So I think maybe we're looking for the next kind of area of significant interest. Will probably be, if we kind of can't go up, will probably be, let me pull my levels, higher time frame levels, where are they? Probably, like, there's some arbitrary ones, but I think if we start going down, they won't necessarily, I don't think they're going to hold. We're probably looking for this area here, where you have a lot of kind of untouched levels. You have a 3 monthly level, you have a weekly, you have like 3 daily levels all together. So you're probably looking at about 2.3, 2.4. That's probably where the next big buy area is going to be. And then we have to see what happens, because if we do kind of consolidate and make our way down now, this is the area of interest. And if the price now can hold here, to start working its way up, then we could be making what I'm imagining, which is on the higher time frame, an inverse head and shoulders. That's a big if. And we have to see if there's interest. Like I don't know. We can't predict that. And whatever happens as we go up, we need volume. We need volume to go up. You can't just imagine that the price is going to go up. And people are really unaware of how volume affects the price. The minute you put in a significant amount of volume and the price goes down, to get past that level, you're going to need volume to get through that level. You can't, just because the price goes up doesn't mean the price is going to. People have this weird idea about how it works. It doesn't work the way you think. Yeah. If the price goes up without volume, the minute someone sells, you're going to get this, and then that's going to look really bearish, and then you're going to take all that time to get. I think you did this. It will just continue, because that's a volume level that will hold without volume to push the price through that level, and that's a lot of volume that was put in. Yeah. So unfortunately, we've come into a really difficult situation, and we have to see what happens. And I'm not fudding anyone. I'm just saying that this is the way it is. We have to just accept it, and let's see what we can do to overturn this in the future. Any comments, questions? Craig, is it just me here? I know there's people here. All right. So this is the price action. I think the strategy is to continue buying, but I just want people to be safe with their money. I think just wait for the price to settle for a little bit. Don't just kind of catch a falling knife. I don't think that's smart. If the price settles here, you can start scaling in, and then I think it's also good to ladder in. And just because I've drawn this doesn't mean this is going to happen. But I do think we're going to need to see volume to get back up and through this higher level. It just, there's no two ways about it. Unfortunately, this is the way it is, unfortunately. And it's a shame to imagine that this is how it is, because I think it's not representative of the project and what's being built. But we have to contemplate the truth. We can't just be naive and hope and hope and hope and hope, because we could be at the end of the Bitcoin bull market and still hoping for higher prices, and it's not coming. And the other problem is, and I think you have to put this in context, like so many other altcoins have made their wave one, and they're already like 10x, 15x, 20x up. Even the shittest coins, like literally, I'm looking at the worst coins, the most unimaginably bad coins, they're putting in volume, they're putting in multiple X's, and they're showing bullish continuation and bullish market structure. I think we're dealing with some serious questions that need to be answered, and I think it's extremely childish and naive to imagine them away as though they don't exist or as though they're not important. And I think there's a lot of contemplation and reflection that needs to happen, but it's an opportunity. These things are opportunities to be better and to do better and to perform better and to work together to make it better. I see this as an opportunity. And also for me personally, it's an opportunity to buy at low prices. For a short period of time, I thought we'd never see under 4 cents again. So I'm seeing this as an opportunity. I'm seeing this as but I don't want to waste the opportunity. That's the thing. I don't want to see this opportunity wasted. And so therefore, I'm going to continue contributing and saying what I see. Now, I wanted to just quickly, I still want to talk about the price action, because I think most of my focus is going to be on that. I'm less focused on what's happening in the internal politics of Dtravel. Ultimately, I just want to focus on the price, because my firm belief is that the price reflects everything. Everything that's going on is all in the charts. Yeah. This tells you everything. That's what I believe. And so I just want to focus on the price and see what it's telling me, and then look for the opportunities to buy and to accumulate. So when I look at ADA, so I've been doing this quite a lot, and I just wanted to do this again with you guys. So I'm going to bring up my MEXC chart, because that's the one which I'm using to compare with ADA. There's a little bit of lag. There it is. So I've got Cardano on the right and TRVL on the left. And I've tried, let me go to the weekly time frame actually, because that's better. I've tried my best to bring him to the same place, right? And what I mean by that is that this blue line here on the right side in Cardano is the Bitcoin halving last time round. It was in the first, almost just after the first week of May, right? And this blue line here is our Bitcoin halving this year, and it's, I think it's the 19th of April. So I kind of put it within a week. So these are blue lines roughly, but actually quite accurately represent the Bitcoin halving. And I've gone over the price action before on Cardano, but I'll do it one more time, because it's really, really interesting how these two fractals, for some reason, seem to be mimicking each other. I don't know if Cardano is mimicking TRVL in the past, or TRVL is mimicking Cardano. I'm just making that up. That's funny. All right. So as you can see, Cardano launched roughly at about 9 cents. It went up all the way up to about 1.4. We launched at 9 cents. We went up to about 1.56, thereabouts. We had a massive sell-off on Cardano, a massive sell-off on TRVL. We had some buybacks trying to defend the lower prices. Same here. Some buybacks trying to defend the lower prices in TRVL. Failing. Okay. And then we had this bearish consolidation, which led to lower prices. And then we had a relief rally, only to come into this imaginary trend line, which happens to coincide with this other imaginary lower channel. Yeah, they're all imaginary until they're not. Had another sell-off, similar bearish consolidations on the sell-off. Now, with TRVL, we made another all-time low, and Cardano didn't. It held the low. So I was thinking, and this is, I've said this before, that maybe because we had broken this higher time frame trend line, that maybe this dip was similar to this dip. Yeah, I thought maybe I was trying to be bullish about it, and maybe that was my mistake, but there was nothing wrong with my bullish Elliott wave count, even though now it's been invalidated, because I was imagining that maybe this was the first wave and we're in the second wave, and that was the third one, and we're going to start going. Because in the context of all the other altcoins, so many others have done their first wave. They've gone up so many times X since October. I just think it's unbelievable that we haven't. I was like in shock actually that we haven't done that yet. So I was just trying to think, why not? Surely we have, or we are. But anyway, so now what I'm seeing is that if you calculate the bull market halving to this red weekly candle, which is truly our reversal candle, it's 13 bars back. And from this bull market halving to this red candle up here, it's 13 bars back. So the actual reversal in the timing of Cardano, this red candle there, and TRVL It's happening at exactly the same time before the halving. I'm like fascinated by that. Like, I'm like, wow, that's incredible. I can't believe it. And I had this Cardano chart. I already showed it. I've shown it to many people in the past. I did an analysis and a side-by-side comparison. I didn't trade it because it's so hard to imagine that we're following the same path. But the fact that it is just astounding. And maybe some people did. And well done. So based on this theory, based on this similarity, we have some key concepts that we have to contemplate. Firstly, Cardano lost the all-time high. The all-time low. And we have to contemplate that as a possibility, yeah? Because we're seeing so many similarities. We have to contemplate that. Now, I don't think we need to, yeah? And I don't think we need to, because we've already taken the all-time low once, whereas Cardano didn't do it the first time. So maybe Cardano needed to do that. I don't know. I can't explain it. I'm just saying I don't think we need to do that. And also, I'm thinking that because Cardano never showed support and resistance on this downward trend line, that it went through it the first time, and the second time it just went through it, like it ignored it twice. We haven't actually ignored it. Like our trend line, we've back tested it going up and the way down, and because we've confirmed it as support and resistance in the recent past, I think it is possible that if we do go down, that we still it still holds on a back test with some sort of previous horizontal level. You know, it's very possible that we do get some kind of confluence and make a higher low, whereas I think with Cardano, they had such an impulsive rise this to go up, it was also very impulsive to go down. I think we're dealing with something slightly different because we have created levels of liquidity and market structure. So I think technically it should be more difficult to go down for TRVL. Technically it should be more difficult. But the problem is that we're in a low liquidity environment. And if someone decides right now to sell a large amount of token, we're going down. There's no two ways about it. If someone decides they want to dump 10 million tokens on the market now at market prices, I don't think we've got enough liquidity to hold the higher low. And that's the only thing that in my mind, that's troubling me, you know, that's making me think, despite everything, it's very possible that we still go down. So that's why what I'm looking for is either I'm looking for some kind of drop like this. And so in terms of timing, I'm actually, it's 9 bars before the halving. So 9 bars before the halving means that I'm timing it to be the week of the 12th of February. So up till that point, I just want to see where the price lands. Actually, that's kind of what I'm thinking for me personally. I'm just telling you what I'm doing personally. I think people should buy. I think people should position in. And I think if you're not in this token, it's a great mistake. So start buying. But I think also me personally, like I'm looking to aggressively buy more after that date. I want to see where the price lands on that week. Yeah. Because it's just so similar, huh? It's look at it. What the hell? Like, what happens if this, like, look, I know afterwards it just goes green, 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 and it basically the wave one began there after that date. Just thinking, what if our wave one begins after that date too? So yeah, so that for me, that's a really important week, the 12th of February. And you know, I'm selling bit my business. I'm selling one of my brother and I, we have laundry mats in London. We have an Airbnb business. We have a rental, we have a lot of properties. We're looking to sell land, and we're also looking to sell a laundromat. We're gonna buy TRVL, but I'm gonna buy it after that date, or on a sign of strength. So I'm looking for one or the other. I'm looking for lower prices right now, or a sign of strength, and we'll see what happens. But honestly, I'm still bullish. I don't, like people, people disagree all the time, and it's not a problem, and no one is ever going to be 100% completely in agreement with anyone else around them. There are people in Dtravel, I don't agree with them. I would do it differently. This tokenomics thing, I made my suggestions. If people don't like it, if they don't want it, what can I do? I think I've proved myself to date that I'm committed. I've done 15 bookings. I've helped prove their system. I've gone to conferences at my own cost. My brother and I, we went to Barcelona trying to represent Dtravel, voluntary, to Portugal twice. I've been telling people, everyone, about Dtravel, TRVL. We hosted an event in London. I was trying to tell all my friends and family. I brought multi-millionaires into that room in London, telling them about Dtravel. No, all the expenses. This hat, Dtravel you didn't pay for that. I paid for that. And at the end of the day, if they don't want to listen to my suggestions and want to do something else, it's not, I can't force them. But I'm going to continue making the suggestions. That's the way it is. That's what a DAO is meant to be. And so when I was looking, so I don't know if people are following the Telegram. I'm going to go to there now quickly. And I don't think, we don't have to be bitter about these conversations, like it's good to debate, it's good to have conversations, and it's good to be open and honest, and it's good to bash it out. I don't think it's a bad idea to question and to have a debate. But basically, I did not initiate this debate. It was some other people. And I'm going to go up to the post. And if anyone's been following my videos, you'll know that I've been saying, the Dtravel team, the team are busy. They're probably just doing a better job. I haven't really said anything negative about their delays. And I haven't really even questioned it. I accept that they're busy. I know Cynthia's busy, Eric is busy. They're all busy, But anyway, so basically Goodza, and I'm not sure if Jordan 23 is Goodza or Jordan 23 is posting Goodza's post. But Jordan 23 is saying, or Goodza is saying, when's the tokenomics dropping? I'm out of tune. I cannot access the Telegram or anything. So actually, based on what I'm seeing here, Goodza is not Jordan. Jordan 23 is just basically taking what Goodza is saying from Twitter and posting it in the Telegram. So there's two different people. Neither of them are me. Neither of them are my friends, and I've never spoken to them about this. Just people from the community saying the same thing. Hey, James, it's been more than a week since the tokenomics update was announced on Twitter. Although the delay was communicated on Telegram, there hasn't been an update on Twitter. This might leave followers confused, as reflected in the tweet I'm sharing. So obviously they're not the same person. Would it be beneficial to post a tweet addressing the delay, especially since the initial announcement was made on the platform? This is the tweet I'm referencing, by the way. So I actually addressed this concern in my video yesterday. And all I was trying to do is just trying to explain the price action, right? And that's all I'm really trying to do. I'm trying to just understand the psychology behind the way the price moves. That's all. I'm just trying to predict the future, but not in a kind of mystical way. I'm just trying to explain, well, certain things respond to certain things, you know, like I'm not really telling people the price is going up or down. I'm just saying this is why. I'm trying to understand the why. And anyway, Chairman Meow says, so someone else says, yep, nailed it. So he's basically responded to my video. I just hope this is not, we don't roll out news because market no good for news. And he's criticizing Dtravel. And then he also says, better and okay tokenomics later than something where we need to retouch you. I agree with that. So I do agree with that. And then he's saying he has PTSD. I mean, we all have PTSD. We're like, ooh, trauma. Waiting 5 months for travel tokenomics just to find out it was kind of meh. Yeah. So I think this is the biggest fear that a lot of people are experiencing. So we're not trying to create FUD, but there is already a little bit of uncertainty. And the uncertainty is that a timeline was communicated and the timeline hasn't been adhered to, and then the communication with regards to the delay hasn't come across to the community. So that's caused uncertainty, and I think part of that uncertainty is caused by the wider market pulling back a little bit, you know. So Bitcoin has this weird psychological effect on all the market at the moment, and that's compounding the effect of the uncertainty that's been created by the team. Yeah, inadvertently, the team have created uncertainty. I don't think it's their fault, but they've created uncertainty and they haven't addressed it. And I've tried my best to calm people down and to not sell, but ultimately people have to do what they feel. They're not going to just blindly obey me or if they listen to me, they're going to do what they feel. So that's part of the problem. And the fear is that it's just going to be a meh moment, like an average moment, like the token. There's this whole build up. We're going to perfect this tokenomics document. It's going to be a. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I think it's better now, huh? Right. How far did I get? I can't remember. So basically, I was saying that I think there was a little bit of uncertainty, partly because of the markets, and then also because we were expecting this tokenomics document, which didn't come. And I think part of the problem was that now, because of the delay, there's like a higher expectation, like as it delays, because the idea was we're delaying it because we want to get it right. And the problem is now that the team have to deliver. That's the problem. They've created this problem for themselves, because by delaying, the reason for delay is perfection, is making it right. It has to be good. And so naturally now people's expectations are much higher. Yeah, we've built up this high expectation rather than just releasing it in its raw format and bashing it out on time and letting people contribute and letting people add and remove, and like for it to be a village square, like a public document. What's happened is that the team have said we want to make this perfect document, and they announced that it was going to be released, and they said no, it's going to be delayed because we want to make it good, and now it still hasn't been released. And so now naturally there's this air of high expectation. So unless the document delivers, people are going to, unfortunately, they're going to be let down. Unfortunately, it's just a natural response. Okay, so, and I think Chairman Meow puts it down really well. He says, it's just my PTSD from waiting 5 months for a TRVL tokenomics in 2021 just to find out it was kind of meh. So basically, unfortunately, the team have created uncertainty and they've created fear, or they're creating fear. And B is asking, why did they announce it first? Well, there's been a lot of pressure on them to change the tokenomics, mainly because the tokenomics has always been unclear and vague, and there's no real transference of value from the network into the tokenomics, into the token. And so a lot of people who are part of the community, who've been part of the community for a long while, have been calling for an update. And basically what happened was that back in December, so what happened was that in November, I'll explain. So I just want to explain to you my perspective of the timeline in my mind. Yeah. So going back to, let me change my window to the charts again. If I can. You know, for some reason when you lose a window, it doesn't come back. I can't explain it, but on OBS, oh, there it is. Okay. Right. So basically what happened was that in October, let me go into the daily time frame. Let me just get rid of this now. So naturally, October was called Uptober because people were expecting the crypto markets to turn and to pump, right? And basically we had our gate event in October the 7th. So October the 7th, that dreadful day, but anyway, that's by the by. We had our gate event in London, and then the price crashed to an all-time low. Okay, it crashed, and so we had this like kind of lows all the way up to October the 22nd, and by this time a lot of altcoins were pumping, and then we suddenly had a little bit of a breakout, right? So this was like our breakout moment. This was very impulsive and it was very bullish. And then by November, it was just sold into, right? And so sometime in November, I talked to key individuals in the team on the video chat. And I said to them, this is not right. Yeah, this is not expected behavior. The way the price is moving, it's reflecting problems. And I inferred that the problem is probably the tokenomics. Yeah, I suggested that the tokenomics is probably the problem because unfortunately people weren't holding, they weren't hodling, they were selling. Yeah, so they were just looking for a quick rise in price and then selling into that rise, and it wasn't suggesting a long-term hodling, and so therefore there was no value of the token. The token wasn't valued. And then I went over the price action, and then when you look back through the whole of the downtrend, you know, when you had an imaginary idea where the price was all the way up at $1 and nothing had been built, and now we have this kind of amazing network and hosts and properties and listings and a functioning product, the price at the lows is still not being valued. It means there's no transference of value from the network into the token. And so I raised that issue, and then finally, after a lot of debate on the Telegram channels, they said that they were going to look at the tokenomics. They were going to rework it. And then sometime in December, I think at the beginning of December, David and I, we had a conversation on here. It's probably in one of my videos right at the back. And I have an idea. I have my idea of what I would do. And I lay it out on the video. And it's really simple, really. Like, my idea isn't even that complicated. And then we had this build up And then we had this announcement. I think it was, let me see how many days back this was. So this explosion was 12 bars back. So it's about 2 weeks ago. We had this announcement that the tokenomics was going to be released and there was going to be an explanation. And then we had this explosion of volume. And then since then, I think the only thing we got was it's being delayed, like one announcement or something like that. And since then, the price has been sold into. Yeah, so there's a lot of uncertainty now with the tokenomics. And I think now what I'm seeing in Chairman Meow's explanation of here is a little bit of fear as well. And I'm genuinely not afraid, but I think today, after reading something in the Telegram, I am a little bit worried. So I'm just going to go to it and I'm going to go back to the Telegram. And so basically, Chairman Meow says he's got a little bit of PTSD. And obviously, I'm very positive. But in my mind, I'm thinking that it has to be well. I think what's the point of changing the tokenomics if it's not going to be a well? Like, I don't just want an average tokenomics. I think the product is well. I think the tokenomics should be well. So I think if you're going to have this new model, I have to read it. I have to understand it. And it has to be well. And also the other thing that I think is that it has to be very easy to understand, right? And so I don't know if I write that, but I probably do. So Chairman Meow says, I wonder what happened that made it be delayed for 10 days already. And that pump after ETF and just before the alleged tokenomics, LOL. Been in this game long enough not to trust any coincidence. Jack Cassis, I think he's part of the team. When I discovered Bitcoin and DAOs, I thought, why can't someone use this to replace Airbnb? Oh, maybe he's not. I don't know. He says, we'll never DM you first. Others have tried. This is the first project I've seen get actual bookings done, doing right. Talking about doing it is one thing, actually doing it is another. Smitty says, better whip those devs into action or get some faster ones. Okay, so James. James is head of marketing for Dtravel. He says, nothing has happened other than we felt the first couple of drafts of the initial blog post was not the right direction. It's not in our interest to delay, but as I've communicated, we want to get it right. So this is the problem, want to get it right. You see, I think wanting to get it right, you're raising people's expectations and you're only giving them an opportunity to be disappointed, because what if they don't think it's right? And that's your getting it right. And that's the, I think that there's a bit of a divergence in what you're saying and creating the air of expectation. And then later on, people are only going to be let down if they don't have the same opinion as you. It's not how you run a DAO, in my opinion. Yeah. You have to let people contribute, participate, bash it out, let their ideas be heard, and we can all work it out together. But right now, what you're telling me is you get it right, and we have to accept your opinion. It's not how it works. Yeah, it's not how it works. No one's going to accept that. No one is going to accept that behavior. Yeah, we want to get it right is not right, actually. The fact that you want to get it right, you will lay it out and let the community talk about it. And we'll all talk about it. We'll have a conversation about it. And we'll all work together and we'll come up with something. Yeah. If you really want to get it right, that's how you get it right. Yeah. And everyone can come up with their ideas. And eventually we'll hone it down. And we'll work on it. And we'll come up with something. Yeah. But right now you're saying to me that you want to get it right. And therefore, we just have to accept it. That's what I'm getting from this. I don't like it, but, you know, it is what it is. It's also to remember that we're not just sitting. Of course, no one thinks you're sitting on your hands. That's ridiculous. You know, no one thinks that. We're all working at least 12 plus hours every day. And there's a lot of moving parts. Yeah, that's true. But we had a completed draft ready for the Monday announce, but felt at the last hour that we needed to simplify it. Thank you. It does need to be simple. I agree. We're still working on that. We want to make sure the team is aligned before sharing it with the community. I don't think the community thinks the team is slacking. Oh, so this is Jordan. I don't think, and I agree with Jordan 100%. I don't think the community thinks the team's slacking. So the fact that James is saying we're working 12 plus hours, no one's suggesting that the team is slacking. So I agree with Jordan. You're super active and responsive. I love the weekly updates. I agree. And there's so much on the team's plate. For the most part, we get the delay, as it was communicated and talked about Telegram. But folks on Twitter expecting updates haven't seen a follow-up tweet. So they're probably wondering what happened. This situation serves as a valuable learning experience though. The initial tweet announcing the blog post conveyed readiness. However, stating that the team requires alignments, causing a delay inadvertently creates the impression of an underlying issue. I think Beard Prince, that's me, absolutely nailed it in his video. It's very plausible the increase in price was in anticipation of an update, but with no updates, price went pretty bearish. Bitcoin definitely not helping either. I think we're saying the same thing, so I don't know why there's this air of defensiveness on the team's behest. Like, I just really think it's very bizarre that, like, I think a lot of people in the community are saying exactly the same thing, and we're all different people. None of us are connected, and we're all saying the same thing. We're all in agreement with each other, and yet for some reason I feel like there are certain members of the Dtravel team who have this kind of defensive stance, and they're trying to justify their action. No one is actually saying, like, criticizing the fact. You know, we know you guys are working flat out. You know, we want to help. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help. We all want to help. You know, this isn't school. We're not kids. You know, we're all successful people. I'm a successful business person. You know, I can help. We can all help. And we don't even want to get paid. I don't even want to get paid. I'm trying to help. But whatever. So yeah, that's fair. I'll take responsibility for that. X is obviously a very public forum. I felt it was fine to leave the play-by-play updates to our Discord. Look, James, mate, I like you on the personal level, but I'm not the only person. There's a lot of people who have problems with a lot of things. And I think we're at this stage now where we either have to turn out or let someone take over. Like, honestly, like, that's how I feel. I feel enough of these excuses, enough of these kind of like, oh, I'm sorry or whatever. Like, put out, like, now is the time. This is the moment. This is what we've been waiting for. Bitcoin, the bull market. You know, no one is suggesting that anyone is slacking, but at the end of the day, you know, we're talking about a multi-million-dollar startup, potentially a multi-billion-dollar future. So we have to behave like that. Yeah. We have to think like that. We have to imagine like that. And that's what we want. That's what we're expecting. And that's what we're investing for and believing for. So no one is criticizing you and that you're whatever. But I don't think this is necessary. You know, all of this kind of like defensive stance and this defensive behavior and stuff like this. I don't like it. Anyway, there's a lot of like ins and outs, but ultimately, this is the real thing that comes to my mind. Okay, this is Drew, and Drew and I have only had a conversation once, so we don't know each other that well. And Drew says, thanks for sharing your economics idea. It's a strong idea, has been explored in detail by the team. After review, we identified several issues, and he lays out the issues, right? And he goes into the points. I'm not going to go into them into detail, okay? But I do want to say something, yeah? First and foremost, my idea, I just made that up. Just like that. I didn't really go spend weeks and weeks and weeks developing this amazing idea. I just had this idea and I just made it up, yeah? And after weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of deliberating, you've thrown it out, yeah? No one has ever come back to me to fine tune my idea or to ask me questions or to debate my idea or anything. There's been no kind of, you've just thrown it out. Yeah. That's what it sounds like. After review, we identify, well, if you have several issues, why is this the first time that you're telling me after such a long time? I'm here. I'm happy to have a conversation. Yeah. It's the first time you're telling me you got issues with my idea. Let's talk it out. Let's debate it. Let the community debate it. Let everyone talk about it. Yeah. What's this air of kind of like, oh, we've made this decision. We know what's best. Da, 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 all that kind of rubbish. Like, I don't agree. I don't like that. I don't think anyone likes that at all. Actually, it's really bad behavior, to be honest with you. I'm not here to chastise anyone. Yeah. But I think we need to sort it out. We need to, you know, we need to be mature about this, and we need to have a debate. We need to discuss it. We need to have a conversation. And if you have problems, yeah, we need to talk about it, right? I'm not pushing my ideas. I'm on stream every single day. I haven't been talking about my amazing ideas. I've been talking about the price. I'm talking about the charts. And I'm not just talking about TRV. I'm talking about lots of different tokens, right? Yeah. And there's no time that I've suggested that this is a bad buy or created any kind of fear, uncertainty. The team are creating, you are creating fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Actually, this is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Yeah. You're making me doubt you now. This response. Yeah. That's what's happening. I don't like it. There's a timing mismatch. Well, I don't know. Anyway, it's all QQ, you know, it's all just whining at the moment. I think we need to just be mature about this. If you want if you want this to be a DAO, yeah, let's be a DAO. Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. Let's debate it. Get people involved, and we'll work out something. If you don't want this to be a DAO, then stop pretending that this is a DAO, because that's ridiculous. Yeah. I've been here every day talking about Dtravel, telling people about Dtravel, telling people to buy TRVL. I've been showing people my bookings. I've been showing people my accounts. I've been getting people on board. Yeah. I don't need this. Yeah. If you want to have a conversation, let's have a conversation, but don't do this. This is rubbish. Yeah. So look, and this is what I want to ask. This is ridiculous. Hold on. What is it? What is it that I saw? Here, there is an economic soundness issue with paying out an exponential amount of tokens compared to the revenue earned from a booking. This makes it easy prone to gamification from bad actors. Like, am I a bad actor? You mean early investors, early adopters? How are early adopters bad actors? You know, I think we're completely on different pages when it comes to seeing the future. And I think we need to have a discussion about this. I'm not a bad actor. Am I a bad actor? I don't know. That's what you're saying. I'm a bad actor. I'm an early adopter, which isn't getting rewarded for the work that I've been putting in. Yeah. The team are getting paid in TRVL and vesting schedule for the future. I'm not getting any of that. Yeah. So I'm telling you that the 3% reward based on fiat booking value is not enough. It's not significant. It's pitiful, actually. And I'm trying to imagine a future where people are going to be incentivized to bring all of their bookings to Dtravel, to this platform. Yeah. And in my imagination, Bitcoin is the best. And so I'm going back to Bitcoin. My idea was basically Bitcoin. Yeah. That's all it was. Now you're telling me that Bitcoin is rubbish, that Bitcoin doesn't suit, that Bitcoin doesn't work. The most successful token out there, you're rubbishing it. And I don't like that, because to me, that makes no sense. It makes no sense what you're saying to me. And it doesn't make any sense because we haven't had a conversation, right? This is the first time I'm seeing this, yeah? And you haven't actually addressed these issues. And I haven't even developed my idea. I had an idea and I trusting the team to come up with their own, with a tokenomics document. I haven't created that fear. I haven't created that uncertainty. All of a sudden people are afraid and all of a sudden people are uncertain. Who's done that? Not me. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyway, I go on to say we don't like this cloak and daggers behavior. No one likes that. And if you have a problem, if you really want to give it to the DAO, then put my ideas to the DAO, anyone's ideas to the DAO, put your ideas to the DAO, put many ideas to the DAO, let the DAO decide. What's the problem? Yeah, if this is a DAO, let the DAO decide. You know, you don't like my idea, fine. I get it. You have a large amount of tokens. Maybe that's how it's going to be. You know, whoever has the most tokens decides, and maybe that's just the future. Doesn't mean I'm going to walk away. I'm not planning to do that. I'm still going to contribute. But the reality is that I think we have to reset this whole conversation, and we need to stop putting all this fear, uncertainty. We need to just lay it out and let the DAO figure it out. Yeah, let the DAO have a conversation, let people contribute, and let's work it out. In my mind, it has to be really easy to understand. Yeah, so I think the easiest thing to understand is Bitcoin. I don't think it's difficult to explain Bitcoin to 300 million plus crypto holders. I think creating something that maybe you're something complicated is going to be really difficult to understand. And it's honestly, our marketing has been terrible. So how do you market something which is difficult to understand when you can't even market something which is easy to understand? I don't know, right? So there is a divide. So Jordan says it looks like there's a divide between what the community envisions for Dtravel and the expectations and concerns of the executives, particularly regarding how tokenomics might affect revenues. I'm on the same page with you. Thank you. If there's a mismatch internally, just lay out the proposals, share the plan, points, pros and cons. Personally, okay, I've bailed on projects where leadership stays silent. It's great to hear good news, but a DAO is about transparency, so let the community in on the challenges too. 100%. I 100% agree with Jordan 23. I've never met this guy before, but we're on the same page, right? So this is it. This is the challenge. The jury is out, yeah? What do you do? Dtravel, what do you do? What are you going to do? Yeah. I go on to say my proposals are basically Bitcoin. Yep. So honestly, like, maybe I need to sit down and explain my ideas. Maybe I'm going to do it now. I don't know. I don't necessarily want this video to be long, but maybe I'm going to make it long. If people want to listen, they'll listen. But basically, my idea was that we have to make it easy to understand. And in my mind, the easiest tokenomics model to understand is Bitcoin, right? Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get people interested in something that they understand. No one is going to go and sell their valuable assets and invest it into something if they don't understand it. Yeah. And then when I'm talking about understanding, I'm talking about the understanding of where the value comes from and how valuable it becomes, right? And you can't create that, you can't imagine that. So it's always best to go with something that works. And then if you want to layer your and tweak that, you can. Why not start with something that already works and then build on that? And in my imagination, I'm thinking about Apple, actually. So Apple computers threw out their own operating system. I don't know how long ago it was, probably 25 years ago. And they basically took Linux, which was a free operating system, which worked. And then they built their whole business on the Linux platform. They took something that already worked, they made it theirs. They owned it. That's all I was saying. I was saying we know something works. we know Bitcoin works. So let's take Bitcoin and make it ours. Yeah, it's like taking Linux and making it Apple. That's all I was saying. That's it. It wasn't really complicated. It was just basically taking something that already works, making it ours. Yeah. And then calling it store of value 2.0 or better than Bitcoin or something like that. You know, easy to market so people will understand. So what's Dtravel? It's a store of value secured by a physical real world network or something like that. Easy to understand. Oh, what's this physical real world network? Oh, it's Airbnb. Well, shit. So, you know, like it really easy to understand. I don't know. I that's what I was imagining, but we never had a conversation. We never had a debate. No one ever came back to me in a public setting, in a forum, to say, well, let's talk about your points. Okay. And I had to kind of like, and I just left it like, whatever, you know, what can I do? So, and if this was a proper DAO, then as a token holder, I would be able to make proposals myself, and I can't even do that. I can't even put my own ideas in the public forum to allow the DAO to decide. I can't even do that. If this was a DAO, I would be able to do that. Like in a DAO, in a fully functioning DAO, people with certain amount of tokens are allowed to make proposals, and I can't even do that. Right? So here I am on my own little corner of the world on YouTube, trying my best to help. All right, so Jordan doesn't 100% agree with me, but that's cool. That's how it works. We don't have to agree with each other, but we can still get along, you know. We can agree to disagree. It's not a problem. He basically says Bitcoin causes a lot of problems for the rest of the projects. And my point when it comes to Bitcoin, and you know, like Bitcoin does move the market, but ultimately when it comes to longer term trends and longer term price highs and lows, that isn't Bitcoin. Like when you're making higher lows and higher highs, sure, the price is going to fluctuate in between those highs and those lows, but ultimately the demand is going to come at the lows, and when you have more demand than supply at the lows, it prevents the price from making lower lows. Yeah, it's just the way the markets work, and it's just the way liquidity works. And obviously the same goes with the highs. If you have less sellers than buyers at the highs, you make higher highs, and that's how the trends change. And so that's really my point. Anyway, so Smitty, there's lots of delays and challenging deadlines. Doesn't create investor confidence. You see that, Drew? It's not, I'm not the only one who's saying this, so don't put it on me. I just had an idea which I just imagined in my sleep, and I haven't even talked about it in months, really. You never come back to me and discussed it. You've got some issues with my idea. Let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion. But don't just say it's rubbish and then go on a tangent. If you're going to go on a tangent and create something that's mediocre, I'd rather you don't change anything. Honestly, I'd rather you don't change anything. If that's what the intention is, to create something that's mediocre, a second-rate mediocre, I think we should create Bitcoin, which is the number one, which is the liquid gold, which is the supremo uno. Yeah? What's wrong with that? I don't understand. Anyway, Cynthia, hey, this is all good feedback for us. As you all know, we always, no one is suggesting anything else, Cynthia, honestly. No one is suggesting you're not trying to be transparent and communicative. Yeah? You just aren't. You haven't been. That's all. Yeah, no one's suggesting you're not trying. Honestly, I would have a drink with Cynthia. I would have a drink with all of the guys. I love all of them, actually. I like all of them. I think on the personal level, Cynthia, Eric, Drew, James, you're all good people. Yeah, that's why we're still here, because we believe that you're good people. But when it comes down to certain aspects, we're just holding you to account. Yeah, the DAO is holding you to account. That's all. Yeah, And it's no suggestion that you're not putting in the hours. It's no suggestion that you don't care. It's no suggestion that we don't have the same interests and we don't all want this to succeed. But ultimately, I think there's a lot of people who care. There's a lot of people who want to be involved and they want to participate. And there's a lot of people who want to have their opinions and voices heard. And it's not just about me. Like, I've literally had one idea, and it's in reflection to the token price. If you come up with an idea which is going to create higher lows and higher highs, and it's going to carry us all the way to $23.50, I'm okay with that. Ultimately, I don't care if it's your idea or my idea or someone else's idea. I just want us to win. Ultimately, in my mind, it's Bitcoin. Yeah, in my mind, it's Bitcoin. But we might have different ideas about that. Ultimately, Bitcoin is nearly $1 trillion market cap because it's targeting gold. It's targeting a $10 trillion market cap industry or more, right? I don't know how big the STR vacation rental industry is, but it's not $1 trillion industry. Yeah. So there are limits to our expansion in STR. And I think it'd be very easy to take over the store of value narrative. Just like Facebook came and knocked off MySpace out of the field because they did something better. They came and reinvented something and made it better. But they basically took the same idea, which was social networks and profiles and all that kind of stuff. Facebook came, they did MySpace better. That's all I'm saying. We can come and do Bitcoin better. But, you know, we can have a conversation about it. What is all this kind of secrecy? I don't understand. One of the biggest concerns we've had with the tokenomics plans is that it takes time to implement. So how can we still do something right? All right, so this is the solution to this idea, to what you're saying. You don't have to implement it yet. Yeah. Create a tokenomics plan, create a white paper, a new tokenomics white paper, explain it, and a roadmap. I think that would be enough for most people. As long as the roadmap allows it to come into fruition within the next acceptable period of time, I think that would be fine. I don't think you need to make it all happen tomorrow. No one's asking for that. But I think people want to see the future, and they want to see a roadmap of where we're going. I think that's what people want. Anyway, that's basically all of the conversations. And I do have one other thing I wanted to say. And I think this is really important. And I'm going to say it because I haven't had an answer and I've asked. Okay. And so sometime before, someone came into the Telegram and asked something. What did they ask? There's a lot of good conversations on Telegram, like we're talking about the review system. This is really positive. Like, people have different ideas. I haven't shared any of my ideas, but you know, I'm pretty relaxed. Like, I think anything is going to be better than Airbnb, to be honest with you. I think Airbnb, the problem with Airbnb is that the review system is based on fear. So either people are afraid to write something, or they're afraid to tell the truth, or they're afraid that someone else is going to write something bad. So therefore they don't necessarily interact correctly. Like, people will behave differently just because they're afraid. And I think if we can create a system where there's no fear, where people aren't afraid, they can still act correctly without being afraid, then I think we succeed, because no one wants to be afraid. That's the kind of emotion that it's a really negative emotion, fear. And I think if we can create a review system that dispels fear, then we win, basically. So that's a good conversation to have. You see, Jordan, again, he asks on the 22nd of January, any chance we'll receive details about the... You see that? Look, Jordan's asking and there's no response from the team. Look, Sin, you didn't respond to him. You responded, but you didn't respond to him. He's asking. Look, he's here asking, and you didn't respond to him. Anyway, so basically what I wanted to ask here, look, what is it? So look, this is the other thing. This is the other issue I have, and I've asked and I haven't had a response. So this guy called Noah Tillon says, hey team, a VC fund would be interested as a partnership to be with Dtravel and an equity side of partnership. And obviously Cynthia says you can DM me. I think this is problematic because many times in the past, the idea has been suggested that we reflect the equity into the token value. And every time that I've maybe come to that conclusion or that kind of destination, the pushback has been that we don't want to create security, right? So I think there needs to be a bit of clarity here rather than just a DM, because we have to have a bit of clarity as far as all these token holders. Why don't they just buy the token? Yeah. And I think, what does this mean? The equity side of the partnership. Yeah. Shouldn't the equity be reflective in the value of the token? What equity are we talking? We're talking about the technology, right? The coding and all that work and the network. That's the equity side of the partnership. So I think this is problematic, and I think we need answers here. I think it's really important. Yeah. Because I think a lot of people are investing in the token, but if the real meat is in the equity side of the partnership, then how do I get involved in that? Yeah, that's what I want to know. If that's where the meat is. Or why don't you put the equity into the token? Why don't you reflect the equity with the token and give the token equity value? Because you don't want a security. I get it. Okay. But at the same time, the only reason that we would accept a VC fund would be because we need the money for some reason, because we don't have the runway. We don't have the runway because the token value is low. We can't sell the token to fund the project. And therefore, we're taking money from a VC fund and offering them equity. But ultimately, what happens if the Dtravel fails? Everyone who's invested in the token ends up with nothing, and this VC fund will end up with the technology. Ultimately, that's what will happen. I think we need an answer here, and I've asked this question. I haven't had an answer, and I'm asking it again, right, on this video. So I think we need clarity here as well. And I think, unfortunately, if you're watching, you're creating fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and you need to fix this, right? And I'm not being harsh about it. I'm just telling you that you're creating it. We need some answers. And there's lots of other issues, actually. I haven't raised them. And I think if you ask me, I'll raise them. I'll raise them with you. But I don't really like to do this because I'm so bullish on the project. But I think we can sort these problems out. All right. That's that. Is anyone here? It's one, huh? I haven't looked at the chat. Is anyone chatting? Oh god, there's lots of people chatting. Shit. Lots of QQing, Marve, and they want to slide in more volatile tokens. It's a risky investment. The scarcity is what counts. BT is back on track but could drop another 5%. It's a win-win for the big boys. Can people place investments on downtrends like shorting? So look, Marve. All right. So I've raised this issue with the team. I said, why can't we have derivatives so that not only can we get traders involved in the token, because that's going to bring in volume. We need volume. That's going to bring in volume, but it also allows people to short, which covers their position. So if the fiat value goes down, they don't lose the fiat value. So you allow yourself to. It also means you don't have to ever sell tokens. Yeah. If you can short the market, you never have to sell because you can cover the value with a short. That's how the big players do it. That's how most of the crypto market works, actually. So I asked this question and I got an answer. Let me just read it out for you. And the answer was this. So my question was, and basically what I really want is Bybit derivatives. So with Bybit derivatives, you inverse perpetuals. That's what I want. With inverse perpetuals, it means that you never have to sell TRVL ever. Yeah. So what you can do is you can use your TRVL to short, and you don't actually sell TRVL. You just cover the value in fiat. So as the price comes down, the number of TRVL you have goes up to compensate for the price. Yeah. And it's a very common it's a very common strategy. Yeah, it's not difficult to do either. It just means you just never have to sell. I got an answer. Hold on, let me see where it is. Hold on a second. So the answer was that they talked to a few people and they said the same thing, which is right now isn't the right timing because the liquidity is too low. It would be too easy for traders like myself to bump up the price and then take a short position and crash the price and manipulate the market that way. So it would be bad for the community overall. But once we get enough liquidity, definitely something we can look at. I'm obviously like, what can I say? Like, I think it's very difficult to argue or debate with people who have no idea how markets work and how liquidity works and how volume works and how anything works. It's really difficult. Like, it's almost like you have to educate people, and that's a process. That's a timely process. Fundamentally, in the context of a Bitcoin bull market, most of these coins that are going up in significant value is because of leverage longs, is because people like myself will have large positions and then they'll use the token to leverage and they'll buy more. And so we can't do that right now. We're in a situation where you might have a few million tokens, but you can't leverage your tokens to buy more tokens. And that's how you get whales defend the lows. You know, like even Michael Saylor, he's leveraging his tokens to buy more tokens. He's been doing that all year. Yeah, he's been leveraging Bitcoin to buy more Bitcoin. Yeah, it's normal. It's like it happens. It happens a lot. It's like all the markets the same. Solana, Ethereum, it's the same. They're all doing it. Yeah. So the question is, will it manipulate the price because we're a low market cap token? Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a problem to take the price up, because people are only going to invest if the price goes up. And that's the point. It's like a chicken and egg situation. You almost need to push the price up. You need people like myself, like anyone else up there, who are willing to leverage a little bit, lightly leverage, to buy the price up, defend the lows. Yeah. So I don't know if it's that bad a thing. And then the whole concept of pushing it up to short, I think it's not even a bad thing either, because the way the price, and this is the thing, it's really hard to explain to people if they don't understand, and they don't understand because they just haven't learned or they've not had enough experience of the markets. But shorting causes the price to go up. People think shorting causes the price to go down, but in the context of a bull market, yeah, when people short and there's enough demand to squeeze the shorts, the price goes up, because the way shorts get liquidated is market buy, and people just have no idea how the markets work. So you have all these people who are inexperienced with knowing how the markets work. They have these, and so when you look at a lot of these tokens that are doing 15x, 20x already, Of course they've got derivatives. Of course they've got leveraged derivatives. They all have. Yeah. And what you have bigger players who are making the market and they're pushing the price up. Is it healthy for the community? Yeah, of course it's healthy. If your investment portfolio is up 10x, what the hell? How is that not healthy? And so then it comes to this other point. Well, we don't want people to short because that's not healthy for the community. Well, I think this is the other thing. A lot of people don't understand. Like, people think that whales manipulate the price by shorting, but actually most of the time when people take shorts is to cover their longs. That's how it's done. You can't explain it to people who don't understand. You know, they have to educate themselves. The bigger players, when they short, it's because they're covering their longs, because the price is coming into key levels of technical resistance. And so what they do is they cover their longs, and when if the price goes down, they don't lose value. And then what happens is, as the price comes down, they'll take profit, and naturally that will bring the price back up, and eventually the market will push the price up to squeeze the shorts, and then the price continues. That's how it works. And in the context of the bull market, you absolutely want to have some kind of derivatives. Absolutely you do. Yeah. And it's a conversation. Like, they've made a decision, they haven't given it to the community. Again, this is the part of the problem that I'm talking about. Yeah, you've got this isn't being run like a DAO at the moment. This is being run like a Web 2 company. Yeah, and this is meant to be a DAO. It's meant to be a decentralized DAO, but it's not being run like that at the moment. So make it a DAO. Let the community decide. Ask the community, would you like this to be on derivatives so traders can get involved with this token? Would you like that? Give people the choice. Yeah. Give them the pros, give them the cons, and let people decide. You know, we're all adults here. We're all educated. We all have our financial portfolios, and let us help you decide. It's my opinion. So Marve says Coinbase admits in having investment programs, and that's why they don't charge fees since 2003. He also says if you can take a drop of every wallet and have bots to leverage in your picks, they could gain more from your choices. These bots are quick and precise. I just think there's a real lack of understanding of crypto at the moment in the core team of Dtravel. I just think there's a lack of understanding of how crypto works, of how the crypto capital rotation works, and I think it's just my opinion, and I think what we need to do is we need to help them to understand. Like, that's what we need to do. And when I show them the price action and explain to them this is this and this is this, I'm only talking from experience. You know, I'm not like, you know, it's, what can I do? I can't persuade someone to believe. I'm trying to get my chart up, actually. I don't know why it's coming up. Can't persuade people to accept your opinion, so let's have a debate. But it's hard if the people don't want to debate, and they've come to their own conclusions, and that's it. That's when it becomes difficult. And so obviously what I'm trying to do, you know, I mean, I'm trying to bring out the conversation into the public domain. So, oh god, I can't bring my charts up. What is wrong with this stupid OB plus? It doesn't allow me to switch screens. So annoying. I can only go into my Telegram now. All right, maybe that's a sign, huh? Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're all here to just share. It's good. I got like 5 viewers. That's amazing. Oh, wait, that's back on Telegram. Can I get my charts back up? I was going to chart some more, actually. I think, David, you need to help me out. I have no idea what's going on. I'm switching the screen, and it's not letting me. It's just not appearing. So annoying. Let me try and figure this out. Maybe, oh, I understand. Such an idiot. Is that it? It went to NVIDIA. Marve says, I like community coins, but if you wait for these Garves, I think I figured it out, David. Right, so let's have a look at Bitcoin. I think there's enough QQing. Oh god, it's gone up, huh? Has it gone up? No. Back underneath the value area. Into the point of control. Actually, I want to have a look at TRVL. That's nice, huh? Little kind of little rise. I think the market makers suck too. Actually, I think there's a lot of problems. The reason why I say that is because oh god, I've lost my. It's because it's so liquid, huh? It's really weird how TRVL is so liquid. Like, surely the market maker can resolve that, no? You'd expect the market maker to create liquidity. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because like when people were like trying, like, why if I can't try and buy now, my position, the spread is too much. My position is going to move the market. I don't know what the answer is, but surely there's a way to fix that. Like you'd expect the market maker to fill the buys and sells. So if someone really wants to buy, then the market maker is the one selling, right? And because the order books are so light, it's very difficult to buy and sell TRVL right now. You think that's the problem is the market maker as well. They're like part of the problem. I don't know. I think these are questions. I think people want answers, huh? All right, let me just have a look. And then another thing that I heard, like I hear a lot, and it's really annoying. I hear people say, "Oh, low liquidity, you can't chart on low liquidity tokens." Like, so frustrating, you know, because then why if you can't chart on low liquidity, why did we get rejected at 9 cents, which is a level that I marked from the beginning? Do you know what I mean? Like, so what's that? If you can't chart on low liquidity, then what's that? What's this behavior? And there's lots of it's again, it's really hard to have conversations with people who've determined the answers and they don't really want to listen. And I think it's a shame because you're dealing with a large array of experienced people from all walks of life, and do you not want their contribution? So yeah, David says market cap needs to grow, and he says yes, you can use log. Exactly, use log. And I think that's the other problem. Like a lot of people, they say you can't chart because they're using the regular price chart, but when you use log, and then when you use you know, volume. I bet no one knew about volume levels before I started talking about it on my charting channel. Like when you're talking to people who have no idea about technical analysis, and you start talking to them about volume levels and value areas, then you know it's a different conversation. So we are on the higher time frame. We're coming into the point of control of the whole range, and so technically this is a good place to buy. Technically this is the right place to buy. The good thing about the point of control is that even if for some reason in the future we go down, it's a really high probability that the price will come back to the point of control. Yeah, like I'm not saying it's 100%, but it's a very high probability, like a super high probability. The point of control acts like a magnet for the price. That's how it behaves. And so that's why naturally in the future, if and when we go up, whatever, it would be good that we put in volume in the highs, yeah, and continue, you know, because eventually when the price comes back down, it won't come all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, so going up with volume is really important, and that's the best case scenario for us, and so we have to bear that in mind. But the point in control is the best place to buy, and so it's not a bad place to accumulate now if no one's actually in position. And you can see there's a little bit of reaction on the 3-day chart. Let me go to the daily chart. Marve says it's a slow sell. They sell portions, people buy them, and many people buy. It rises and they sell and buy. Do you know what else, Marve? I don't think you realize this, but there's some people who've been able to buy TRVL off the market at a little bit of a discount directly from the market maker in large amounts, and I think that's been very detrimental to the price. I don't know if that's happening anytime recently, but I think a large reason why we had this big sell-off was because of exactly that. Like, naturally, if you're getting a large amount of token at a discount, the first thing you're going to do is sell, because you're selling higher than the price that you got it. There's a lot of things that need to be sorted out, you know. And I've said I'd like to see the finances. I'd like to see the accounts. Why not? Like, if I have a limited company, and every year I have to file accounts, and they're public documents. You know, if you go to the UK's company house, I give you the company name, you can see the accounts going all the way back, public. It's exactly where the money lies. And so I think it's not a bad ask for us to be as clear and transparent as any Web 2-esque business. I don't think it's a bad ask. You know, if you don't want to be, then tell us why. Give us some reasons. Yeah, so this isn't a bad place to buy. I wouldn't mind. I think actually probably we're obviously still in this range. This is a higher time frame range, and you know, I don't want to see a new all-time low. Honestly, I don't want to see that. So, and what I'll actually be looking to do is either I'm looking for strength, and for me, it's not far to get back above like into this little higher range. I'm looking at the price now. I'm seeing that there's a little bit of a range here, like a dividing line. And if the price gets like up like 14% to here and holds, I'll start buying again. Like that's what I'm looking to do, because then I'll be thinking, okay, maybe it is going up, because that's quite strong. For the price to do that, that would be quite good behavior. Like that's what you want to see. A failed auction. This, see, now we've experienced a failed auction up there. This would be a failed auction down here. Like I don't want to see acceptance into this lower range. So we just have to see how the price plays out, and if people are willing to, if people are looking to buy at these prices. If we don't see that behavior, then the next thing I'll be looking for is to lose the point of control, flip it into resistance, and then lower prices. And then the next kind of area of interest is going to be this little bit of range here, and that would kind of marry with this back test of this maybe we're just going to go down to back test this trend line, and actually there's a little bit lower down, this is value area low. I think this is like a real amazing level of interest, and that's like, I think that would be an amazing buy at about between 22.5 all the way down to 2 cents, 2.1 cents. Like that's the whole. And what could happen quite easily is the price goes down and then it starts going back up. That's kind of what I want to see. Some kind of behavior like that. And it'll be very easy to see that, because what will happen, and if people want to like a safe way to enter, like they because they're worried that it could go down lower, I think the way to do it is this: let the price tell you what's happening. Don't chase the price. So if we do see lower prices, obviously we're going to see some kind of range. There's going to be a range. So as soon as the price breaks the range, that's when you can enter. Yeah. That's just like, that's what you want to see. You want to see like a break of a lower range, and then you're not risking the reverse, which is lower prices. Just wait for the break. And I think for most people that will be a safe entry. And then obviously just be aware that we could go up and reject off the point of control. You have to be aware of that. So that's why it's always better and safer to reclaim the point of control. If we go down range, go back up, it's always better to somehow reclaim the point of control, flip it into support, and that's the best entry on the way up. So you will basically buying a back test of the point of control on the way up. That's a safe entry. And then obviously if we go down here and we consolidate and there's still no interest, then we're just going to see lower prices. It's just the way it works because of interest. It's like supply and demand. If there's too many people selling, the price will go down, and that's just the way the price behaves. It's all about supply and demand. It's all about buying and selling. And you know, we've lost these higher prices because there's just too many people selling at these higher prices. And fundamentally, we have not given people a reason to hodl. There's no reason. You know, something else that really bothers me, and I haven't had an answer to this, and it's really frustrating. And so I don't know, you know, I don't know what I should do. Should I write a book? I just made a YouTube channel because I love charting and it's like a hobby of mine, but I want an answer to this as well. Like, I've got a few questions and I'm not getting answers. So look at this circulating supply. You see, look, now it's 295,154,952, right? This keeps on going up. I don't know why. I was led to believe that for the duration of the bull market in the previous tokenomics plan, that it would plateau. It'd be on pause. Just keeps on going up. Every time I look at this number, it keeps on going up. I don't know what's happening here, but someone needs to explain why this keeps on going up. Yeah. And there's no answer. Like, what the hell? I need an answer. What does the white paper say? Let's see if we can find it on the white paper. Like, I'm just behaving like any ordinary person would. Does it have anything on the token? Token audits. So look at that. Like if I was an investor, this is what I would do. I'd click on the white paper. I'd have a look for tokens. I don't think you guys can see this audit because it's a PDF. No, it's no use. Doesn't tell you anything. Maybe you can. Oh, you can see it. Let me close this. I need to close this. Staking audits. So you can't, like if I was an investor, how would I see the I can't even see the tokenomics. Pledge. I don't know what that is. I've seen that there from a metaverse. What is all that? And where's the token? Token. There it is. Get travel. Learn more. Okay. Operators. That needs to be that word needs to change to hosts. No one knows what an operator is. I'm not an operator. I'm a host. Here, 1 billion were created and issued by the Dtravel Foundation. Only 1 billion tokens will ever exist. The TRVL token will be distributed in the following areas. Will be. So that's future tense. Oh no, wait. That's future tense. This is incorrect. We need like what people want to see is has been, will be. They need to understand has been, will be, and how, and the timeline and the path. So because as far as I'm aware, based on what I've been told, these strategic sales are already in circulation and the seed sales. And I don't know about the rest. So yeah, so it's so vague, it's ridiculous. And then what you need is a roadmap as well. There's like, I would like to see a roadmap. Oh, there it is. What is that? Roadmap. Let's see that. Peer-to-peer bookings. Centralized booking platforms have popularized vacation rentals, but the dependency on intermediaries comes at a cost to both operators and travelers. And change that word to hosts. The phase 1 objective is to enable vacation rental operators to run their business and accept peer-to-peer bookings, reduce their reliance on OTAs by onboarding to Dtravel Direct. Dtravel Direct is currently used by thousands of vacation rental operators around the world. With Dtravel Direct, operators can create their own booking site, directly bookable listings, upgrade an existing site to access direct booking distribution channels. Direct. Dtravel Direct is the first on-ramp to Night Protocol Phase 2. Token utility. Rewards. Staking. Transaction. Payments. Stakeys. Governance. 3% give back. Click that now. Operators will be required to lock up TRVL in order to access product features and listing distribution channels. Gas fees will be paid in TRVL with wallet as a service implementation. Incentives to spend TRVL when booking in crypto. Travelers can stake TRVL to earn stakeys. Booking credits for future stays. Allow Dtravel Direct customers to submit their and vote on features. I think what you want really is not this kind of roadmap. This is good. This is all good though. There's nothing wrong with this. But I think what people want when it comes to a roadmap is a timeline. Yeah. I think that's really important. Like, I want to see when things are going to happen, like timelines. And it's quite wordy as well. I kind of want it simpler to see and to understand. So there's a few things that can be improved here. And I think this is an opportunity really, because when I look at their website, and I think they're going to launch a website and no one even knows about this. So what I want to see is a little bit clearer, everything, and also more coherent. And especially in the context of the crypto markets and the bull run, like I think it's like the greatest opportunity is this bull market, because a lot of people are sitting on a lot of capital ready to invest in the next big thing, and it's our job to attract that capital. And I think when people are looking to invest, they want to know, they want to understand, and there's so much, it's hard to know. Like, I want to see, we almost have to give them the path, like a runway. Like when you're guiding an airplane, basically they can only go one way. We have to kind of give people the runway, and this is the way. And that's where we're taking them. We're taking them on a journey, and it's our journey, and they have to go from the beginning to the end, and by the end they have to invest. That's what I'm imagining. Yeah. But right now there's quite a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of information, and ultimately people don't actually get to see me and what I'm experiencing, which is the sell. Yeah, let me show you the sell. This is what people really want to see. Honestly, forget all that shit, put all that aside. Yeah. Let me just log into this. This is what's going to get people interested. None of that's really matters, I think, at the end of the day. Yeah. If I can log in here, hold on. Sign in with my MetaMask. This is the sell. Yeah, look at it. That's the sell. It works. These are my properties. This is my back end. These are my bookings. These are my earnings. That's the sell. These are my listings. And all of my reservations are peer-to-peer. That's the sell. That's the sell. This is it. This is what people are interested in. Yeah. And you know, are you not interested in this? This is what really you're interested in. You want to see this. You don't want to see all that rubbish. You want to see all of this? No? You see my listings. And then you go to the back end, view it. This is what people don't get from all of that stuff that's on that site. They don't get this. Literally, this is what people are interested in. No? Tell me if I'm wrong. Are you guys not interested in this? There's a lot of things that aren't working right now. So I think it's our job to help Dtravel get to the final destination. This is my affiliate link, right? And I can tell you it's not working. I mean, I guess you could, arguably it could work down the line, but look, I've had 5 leads and no conversions. Look at this. Yeah, 5 leads, no conversions. And so technically with this affiliation thing, if I bring a successful affiliate onto the Dtravel network, I get 1.5% of their reward. Yeah, so they get 3% back, and I'll get 1.5% of that on top, just on their bookings. So it's really worthwhile. The incentive is worthwhile, but I tell you, it's not easy, you know, because I'm really active, and I think at times I can be quite persuasive. And look, 0. Like, what can I do? So it's a challenge, you know. Like, I think we have to be aware of the challenges, and I think, I don't know, I just, what can I say? I don't know what else to say. Like, I'm not making this up. I'm like highlighting real issues, and I'm hoping that the community can get behind the team and help them and encourage them to get to the right place. Now, when it comes to the tokenomics, look at this. There's a market buyer. Look at that. On Mexi, the market buy. Someone's listening to my stream and there's like, I said it's a good place to buy. They just bought 67,000 tokens. So yeah, that's quite cool. It was probably you, Marve. You're buying tokens. That was only on KuCoin. On Gate. On Gate, it's look at this. So this is what I don't know why, like, what I don't understand with, like, what I do with when I buy TRVL is I look at all the exchanges and I try to buy the cheapest one. But I guess some people aren't in that mindset. Bybit's gone up as well. David says, it's a good system. Why is the coin going down? Lol. Well, technically, the coin's going down because we've lost a major level. Yeah, that's technically what's going on. We had a failed auction, as Daniel would say, and we were in this upper range, above this range. We're in a new range, and we just lost it. We just lost that level. So technically that's why it's going down, because whereas before you were buying on top of support, now you're buying into resistance, because naturally support lines flip So the support line has flipped into resistance now, and the line in question that I think is pertinent to a sign of strength in the future is this weekly line. Which one is it? Probably this one or this one. Maybe these ones here. I think these ones back here. Not sure which one. See how that behaves. So let me just So when I look at the price action, this is very local. Let me just expand it. So you see this. So that's that previous weekly, David. And look, reaction, 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 reaction. These are all reactions until we get a break. See that break? As soon as we got that break, and this is the 4-hour time frame, look at the volume. And if you, I don't know if you remember, but in one of my previous streams, I said the minute we break, we're going to get volume. Yeah. And the break itself wasn't crazy volume. Like when you look at it, this is only max. The break here was like 322,000, but then after it came 1.5 million and then 1.1 million. So this break was really important, right? And so the top of that candle held the support for a while until it broke back down. And this is back to my candle theory that we've talked about a lot. If you close, and the close is really important, if you close underneath these wicks back into the candle, into the body of the candle, so you see how it closes underneath this wick. This is a 4-hour chart, and basically closing back into this candle where these wicks aren't closes. So technically, in terms of candle theory, yeah, this candle was holding as support, but it wicked down, but it never closed into the candle. Yeah, so the candle was holding the price. As soon as you close below this wick back into the body of the candle, what happens is that the rest of the candle fills as far as it can. It's the way liquidity works, that's how it behaves. It's very unusual, but it behaves that way. And so naturally what you get is the rest of this candle filling all the way to the next, basically as low as it can, to as low as it can really. First it fills the body and then it tries to go down to the wick. And so as you can see, as soon as we had a close underneath that wick into the body of this candle, the price filled all the way to the bottom of the body. You see that? Now, I can't explain this to people who keep on telling me, oh, low liquidity, la 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 la, small coin, none of this applies. You can't explain this to those types of people. Just can't explain it. Just like I can't explain Airbnb to some people either, or hosting, you know, I can't explain it to some people. Some people can never do it. Just can't do it. I don't try actually. You know, I've been doing it for such a long time. And, you know, when you look at, people have asked me, and sometimes you just can't explain, it. When they say, wow, you got 4.99 stars, so many reviews, how do you get it? I just can't explain it. Some people just don't get it. So I just don't bother. And ultimately it's about a person themselves wanting to learn, you know, like always being in that mindset, like I want to learn more, I want to be better, I want to improve. You can't believe that you know it all. You always have to be willing to be open to new information, new knowledge, and that's when it comes to trading, we're like that. I'm watching other people I'm trying to learn new techniques. You know, we're following this guy. You guys should follow him. He's really interesting. It's cool. B says, in my opinion, short term we will easily retest 3.4, and then let's see, up or down. All right, so based on your idea, you got to see where the price is like. If I do a volume pull in this previous range, the point of control is here. So on KuCoin we haven't even reached it, not yet, just above it. But then the value area high is here. So just be aware of that. Like the price, for some reason, the price, when it comes back into a previous range, like lower or higher, respects the previous volume levels. Yeah, for some reason it does. So you're expecting potentially 3.4. And if I do a volume pull on this upper range, roughly, yeah, there's a little bit of a no man's land between this area here. See that?